care assistant in the UK earns between £10 and £12 per hour, which is just slightly above the minimum wage. But guys, what if I tell you there is a way you can earn twice or even 3 times that same amount as a care assistant? And these are not just theoretical tips only. Do you guys remember this video up here? In this video, I actually interviewed 4 husbands that are working as care assistants in the UK. And one of the husbands there is actually earning more than twice of what his wife, who is a nurse in the UK, is earning as a care assistant. So if you'd like to know how he's able to earn that much salary as a care assistant, then don't go anywhere, because I'm going to be telling you how he's able to do it. I'm going to be spilling the tea. I'm going to be telling you the 100% truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Scholastica, and on this channel I talk about how you can travel abroad without paying any money to travel agents. So if this is something you are interested in, then make sure you click the subscribe button below and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop more videos like this. And without further ado, let us go ahead with the purpose of this video. So guys, we all know that the care assistant profession has the lowest pay rate for healthcare professionals in the UK. But it doesn't have to be like that. There are ways that you can actually maximize this time as a care assistant, and you can actually earn more, way better than a nurse in the UK. And guys, don't worry, I'm going to be telling you 7 practical ways that you can actually hit this target. So guys, instead of aiming for like £1,500 as a monthly salary for care assistants, you can aim for like 3,000 and above. So that brings me to my number 1 tip. Don't get a permanent job. Most of the care assistants I've met, they are actually here on dependent visas. Now, one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a dependent in the UK is to get a permanent job as a care assistant. Now, let me explain. When you come to the UK on a dependent visa, your visa does not really have a lot of restrictions. You are free to work as long as you like. You are free to do anything you want to do, except some professions, of course. But the care assistant profession is actually one of those professions that you can easily get into as a dependent in the UK. The biggest mistake for you to make is to get a permanent job. Guys, please don't do that. See, when you get a permanent job, it means that you are going to be restricted to that pay rate. So let's say, for example, a permanent job in the UK as a care assistant is going to be paying you like £10 or £12 per hour. And most of the time, your contract is going to be like 44 hours or 48 hours a week. So that means you are working 4 days or 5 days a week and you are earning just £10. Or if your employer is very generous, they are paying you £12 per hour. That money is not much. It means that at the end of the month, you are going to be getting like 1,300 or 1,400 pounds per hour. Why should you settle for that when you can make like 3,000 pounds and above without getting a permanent job? So if you are new in the UK and you are thinking of applying for a permanent job as a care assistant, then don't do it. That's a very big mistake. Now that brings me to my number 2 tip, and that is register with an agency. See, there are a lot of agencies that are willing to give you shifts. In fact, they are going to be begging you to even register with them. If you go on LinkedIn, you are going to see a lot of agencies in your area. Just go on Google and type in staffing agencies near me, and you are going to see a lot of options that you can register with. Now, one of the good things about registering with an agency is that you are not going to be restricted to that pay rate of permanent jobs. So, for example, like I said before, your permanent job is paying you like £10 or £12 per hour. Your agency is going to be paying you at least £16 per hour for that same job. And many people don't know that working as an agency staff is actually easier than working as a permanent staff. When you work as an agency staff, guys, you don't have a lot of responsibility because they don't really expect too much from you. So that means that at the end of your shift, you are not really burnt out, you are not overstressed. But when you get a permanent job, you are going to be tied to the string to your employer. So all the unnecessary wahala is going to fall on your head. So if you can even avoid that whole wahala, avoid it by registering with an agency. Apart from that, another good thing with registering with an agency is that you get to pick the shifts that you want to work. So there are times that you want to work like Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, and be off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can do that with an agency shift. You basically have to be the one to pick your own days where you want to work. It's not like a permanent job where you cannot even pick your shift and whatever is in the rota, that is what you have to do. But when you register with an agency, you can pick the shifts that you want to pick. You can decide, oh, I'm going to be working just night shift, I'm going to be working just day shift, and that is it. Nobody's going to ask you, why are you doing this or why are you doing that? So registering with an agency is the right way to go, not permanent job. Now, my third tip is for you to work weekend shifts. Now, I'm going to assume that you took my advice and you are registering with an agency, or you have registered with an agency, and now it's time for you to pick your shifts. When you get your pay rates from your agency, you will see that the pay rates for weekdays is different from the pay rates for weekend. Now, for you to really earn a lot of money, don't pick shifts during the weekdays, pick shifts during the weekend. But I'm not saying you should work just Friday, Saturday, Sunday and then be off Monday to Thursday. If you do it that way, you are not going to meet up with that target of £3,000 per month. So instead, while you are prioritizing the weekend shifts, anytime you see shifts during the weekdays, you can pick, but don't pick a weekday shift over a weekend shift. I hope that makes sense. So moving on, my number 4 tip is to work night shifts. Guys, night shifts is bae. I work permanent night shifts. You guys know that I be hustler. I work permanent night shift because night shift pays higher than day shift, and that's another thing with not getting a permanent job, because when you get a permanent job, there's no shift differentials. So whether you work day shift, you work night shift, they are going to be paying you the same amount. So if you register with an agency and you decide to work night shifts only, you can expect that your pay is going to be higher. So somebody that is working just day shift is going to be paid, for example, with an agency, £16 per hour. If you decide to work night shift, you are going to be paid £18, £19 per hour doing the same job. Actually, not the same job, doing lesser job, because at night the residents are sleeping. You don't have to feed breakfast, lunch, dinner. You don't have to do a lot of things that goes on during the day. That's another tip for you guys. If you want a stress-free working environment, pick night shifts. And that's another thing, guys, because if you are really trying to meet up with that £3,000 target per month, the more shifts you pick, the better. That's why I keep saying that coming as a dependent is actually good, because you don't really have restrictions in your visa. You can work 5 days a week, work 6 days a week, and nobody's telling you that you have passed the 20 hours a week limit. So guys, that's one thing that you should take note of. If you are picking night shifts, it means that you are going to be earning more, and the more often you do nights, the more money you make. Now, that brings me to my number 5 tip, and that is pick one-to-one shifts. I cannot even stress this enough. Like, this is where the whole thing is. Pick one-to-one shifts, guys. If you are in the UK and you are already working as a care assistant, you can relate. You know what I'm talking about. But if you are still in your home country and you are watching this video and you are wondering what exactly is a one-to-one shift, let me break it down for you. So one-to-one shift is when you have just one resident to care for throughout the day or throughout the night. So it could be that this resident is at high risk of falls, or maybe at high risk of choking, or maybe the resident is just agitated, he doesn't sleep, or stuff like that. He needs someone to always monitor the person, like 24/7, all eyes on you. That is a one-to-one shift. And it's not just care home, they also do one-to-one shifts in the hospital. Most of the time, the permanent staffs are busy with other residents, with other patients, and they can't really dedicate that one-to-one supervision for this one resident that really needs it. So instead, they would rather book an agency care assistant to come and do the shift. And guys, let me tell you, that people that do one-to-one shifts, they are swimming in money. Like, you just go to work. What do? You just put your eyes on that one person. If it's night shifts, the better for you, because the resident is going to sleep. When the resident is sleeping, you are relaxed. You don't really have a lot of issues. You just sit down, and before you know it, day break, you sign your time sheet, you carry your money, and you go home. See, people that actually know the trick behind one-to-one shifts, they don't even pick agency shifts that is on the floor. They prefer to pick just one-to-one shifts. So you'll see somebody working like 6 days a week doing just one-to-one shift and making a lot of money. As a care assistant. And then you'll be wondering, how is this guy making this much money? It's one-to-one shift. Because he's doing one-to-one shift, he's able to work as much as possible, and he's not even stressed up during the shift. So he's making a lot of money, he's working less, and he's smiling to the bank. And that brings me to my number 6 tip, which is to work during the public holidays. Public holiday is blood money. See, if you pick a public holiday shift, you can just decide not to work that whole week again. A lot of people here in the UK, they don't like working public holidays because that is when they want to spend time with their family. That is when they have this their Christmas tradition, New Year tradition, Easter tradition. But you know, we Africans, the hustlers, we don't really care about all that. We spend time with our family every day. Whether it's Christmas, it's New Year, doesn't make any difference. So you should be capitalizing on that. So I'm not saying you should work every public holidays. Please don't do that before somebody will come and say it's Scholastica that advised me to be working public holidays. Please don't pick shifts every public holiday. Spend time with your family, but at least pick like 1, 2, or 3 shifts a year that falls in a public holiday. That way you are making more money and working less. Okay, so pick public holiday shifts. There are a lot of public holidays. You know what I even do? See, let me let you in on a secret. What I do is that I go to the calendar, or I go to Google and I type public holidays in Northern Ireland. So it brings out all the days that are public holidays. So in my head, I'm already like, okay, I'm going to pick a shift on that day. I'm going to pick a shift on this day. So in my place of work, because I have a permanent job, in my place of work, I can request for off for that day. I can request to be on leave on that day. So I know that, okay, I'm on leave here, but I'm working agency shift there and I'm making twice the amount I would have made in my permanent job or in any other agency shift. So you have to be smart when it comes to making money, guys. So guys, I just let you in on my tip. Google public holiday in England, in Wales, in Northern Ireland, wherever you live, and make a list of those days, and then pick at least 1 or 2 shifts within those days. But fair warning, because a lot of people, a lot of other immigrants are struggling to get this shift, so you have to be like really quick to grab the shifts whenever they post it. So moving ahead, let's go to the 7th and last tip, and that is register with more than one agency. Now, it's good that you are thinking of registering with an agency, but there are times that you would want to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but the agency that you are currently registered with does not have shift Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So what are you going to do? Are you going to just sit at home and let those days pass? The money that you would have made those days to just pass you by like that? No. Instead, register with 2 or 3 agencies. And a lot of people confuse this registering with different agencies with the fact that you are going to be taxed more. Guys, no, it doesn't work that way. You are only taxed more whenever you earn more. So for example, if you are registered with like 3 agencies and you are only working with 1 or 2 agencies, you are not going to be taxed from the 3rd agency that you are not picking shift with. So for every pay slip you get, you are going to be taxed according to that pay slip, not according to the employers that you have. I hope that makes sense. That aside, register with more than 1 agency. Me myself, I'm registered with 3 agencies, but that does not mean that I actually pick shifts with those 3 agencies. I have one that I'm registered with that the rates are higher, so I know that this agency, the rate is slightly higher than other agencies. Now there is another one that I'm registered with that have more shifts. So this one that has a higher pay rate does not get shifts as much as this other one that is not as high. But with this one that is not as high, I know that I'm getting shifts regularly. Any day I wake up and say I want to work, I will get shifts that day. But the other one that is high, not so much. So because I am thinking of money, ego, anytime I want to work, I go to that agency first that is going to pay me higher. If I see that, okay, I'm available tomorrow and they don't have shifts for tomorrow, then I will now go to my other agencies to check if there is shifts in those agencies. Now, if you are enjoying this video, if you are getting any value from this video at all, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below, share this video to as many people as you want. And guys, I have a Telegram group. I'm going to leave the link to that Telegram group in the description box. You will agree with me that it's not everything that I will come online to talk. It's not every time I'm going to turn on my camera and start sharing all these tips and secrets and hacks and stuff like that. So that's benefits of joining the Telegram group. And in that Telegram group, it's not just me that is sharing my opinion now. There are a lot of people there, a lot of people that can answer your questions, that can share their own perspective on things. So that is why you want to be a part of that Telegram group. So guys, thank you for watching this video to this point, and until next time, I love you guys. Stay fabulous. Bye. Mwah.